morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, apparently you hear me because I hear the sound back. Are you comfortable with my English? Good. Okay, for those who did not Google me, just a small introduction. Well, first of all, I would like to say that I'm super happy to be here with you, and it's more than an honor. It's a real pleasure for me to be at this first Armenian Testing Days conference. For those who didn't Google me, my name is Olivier Denoo. I'm in that field for about 25 years-ish. So I would certainly qualify to be a testosaurus or something like that. You know, I've seen a lot in the testing field. Basically speaking, I'm the president of the French Testing Board, or the ISTQB, and I'm also their governance officer. And because someone needs to pay my loan, I'm also managing a company in software testing, consultancy company. Okay, so now let's start about the presentation, and it's called, well, can you read that? Whatever user wants. So it means that you're brilliant people, because not everyone can read these kind of things. So I've made a translation for those who can't. But basically this is a possibility that our brain has to adapt and to you know, accommodate with changes and unexpected things. Okay. This is about usability. This is about user experience. And why am I talking to you about user experience and usability? Because you would say, well, Mr. Denoo, come on. We are more than 20 years in that field, and usability, well, this is something that everyone talks about, but we don't do that very often, and why the heck? Well, I'm talking to you about usability and user experience. You know the difference between usability and user experience? User experience is the whole round trip of the user with your service or product. That is everything that goes around. And we will talk about that, okay? So that's more than usability. And why am I talking to you about usability and user experience? Because our society, our paradigm in IT is completely changing. Basically speaking, 20 years ago, when I was starting my career, okay, we were developing software products for users that were ITers. So that was IT developed by ITers for ITers. And when something didn't go fine, well, we could find a workaround and twist it a little bit. Today, the IT is developing products for everyone. That might be the lady who serves the coffee downstairs. That must be the person who helps you during the weekend to, I don't know, do any kind of little work for you and so on and so forth. That can be for your grandparents. Because today, everyone is expected to have a computer, to buy things online, to organize insurance, whatever online, and so on and so forth. So we're developing for everyone. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Everyone is not an ITer. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Everyone doesn't want to be an ITer. They don't care. They just want to use the products. And this is why putting yourself into the shoes of a user, which can be Mr. and Mrs. Everyone, is important. Okay, so if you read studies about why startup companies fail, among the top 3 reasons is that because they develop products that are not needed by the market. No market need, 42%. Okay? So it means that we are developing stuff that nobody wants. Ain't it fabulous? Number 6, user-unfriendly products. 70% fail because what they develop is not understood by the users, and I will show you some examples. And 9, ignore customers. Ignore customers, I don't know what is meant by ignoring customers. It might be that they ignore the customer input, or it might be that once this is sold, okay, not my problem anymore, and whatever complaint you have, I don't care. Okay? But poor customer service and not taking customer into account, not taking user into account, is the main reason why these startups failed. And then the question is, given all this, users, what the hell do you want? What you need to understand is that we are all different. In this room, we are all IT specialists. Even if you don't consider yourself as an IT specialist, even if you're junior and you just started your career, given studies done by the OECD, we are all specialists. Because the specialists regarding this study, 5,000 people per country, 150 countries tested. If you can make an appointment in Outlook, if you can aggregate different sources of data so as to rebuild the story, you are an IT specialist already. And these IT specialists, 5% of the population. So you see the gap. We are all specialists. We're talking about things that we know about, but we're developing stuff for people who don't know anything about it. Okay? We are all different, by the way. Okay? I'm a Belgian guy. You're Armenian. We're coming from different countries. I'm a man. There are women in the room. And we all have different feelings. We have all different kind of interaction with the world. This is one of my, well, what is it, by the way? A watch. Yes, this is one of my watch. I haven't got this because there's a time difference and it's a little bit difficult. What time is it? 9:47. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. No, it is actually 1:45, or ish. Okay? So, indeed, there are two little metal balls that you see. Okay? There's one here and one there. Aha! You know about this watch? It has a story. This watch is not a watch. This is usability, pure usability. This is a watch for blind people. It's been designed for people who lost sight. And basically this is called E1 Bradley. E1 is because this is the first model that developed. And Bradley is a British guy who was serving in Afghanistan. And he was, you know, defusing landmines. And one landmine blew up and he lost sight. And one of his friends decided, in honor to the guy, to build a watch for blind people. And indeed, they can touch these little metal balls and they can touch, you know, the quadrant and see what time it is. Of course, I got a question. They can't tell if it's in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day, but blind people hear the different noises during the day and during the night, so they perfectly know. Okay? So that's about it. Why am I showing you this? Because there are people who don't see the same as we all, I suppose, in this room see. Because there are people who have difficulties in seeing colors. Because we have people who are hearing impaired. Because we have people that are having all kind of difficulties interacting with the world the way we do. And they are our users too. So we need to think about that and we need to design for them as well. Users are people full of contradictions. We want everything and the contrary. Example, we want top-notch services. We want to have the best, but we don't want to pay the price for that. It should be cheap, right? We want something that is extremely secure, but very easy to use and very usable. Yeah, but it's very difficult to design something that is very secure, so loads of constraints, and something that is very easy, just a click. We want to forget about it, or we want to be in control. You see? We want all and the contrary. Complexity. This was not Armenia, this is Vietnam. So in Vietnam, they found a way to connect to the electrical power network the way they want. The problem is that how do you maintain that? It is free electricity, but how do you maintain that? There is a very interesting YouTube video about complexity and complex stuff. It is written by a guy. Do you know these guys? Tom Norman, Jacob Nielsen, and Steve Crook. These are gurus in usability. If you want to start with something easy, first contact with usability, start with Krug. The name of the book is Don't Make Me Think. And the theory behind is, if I have to think what I have to do, this is not good, this is not usable. It should be immediate, it should be clear, upfront. Okay? The other ones, Nielsen, he's a Danish guy. And Danish guys, that's not really the most humorous guys in the world. So Nielsen is very, very, how to say that, academic. He's a pro. He's probably one of the best in the field. But this is very kind of dry book that you need to read. Steve Krug is funny, that's entertaining, that's a first contact. If you look at Don Norman, there's this wonderful video about complexity on Facebook, on YouTube, sorry. Have a look at that. It's really amazing. That's about 90 minutes. It's a lecture for a university. It's absolutely fabulous. And what is the theory behind? We users do like a little bit of complexity. Because if it's too easy, it's boring. Have you played these sort of games where you always win? That's funny for the first time, because, oh yeah, I'm so good, I win all the time. And then you will all the time, and then there's no fun in there. There's no challenge. There's no risk, no fun. No challenge, no fun. So you need to have something that is a little bit more complex. This is why people like these kind of puzzle games, when they need to, move their brain. If it's too complex, then it's boring again. Because it makes you feel like, well, I'm a complete moron, I understand that shit, what? Okay, it's not for me. Okay? Not everyone is a rocket scientist. Not everyone can redesign E equal mc squared. Okay? We're not all geniuses at this level. So if it's too complex, we tend to forget about it, and it's, wiped off. The problem we have is that it depends on your level. If you're a physicist, E equal mc squared is probably something that you can get a grip upon, more or less. It's not that you can write the equation in the first place, but at least you understand what it means. If you're, with all the respect, the hairdresser or the people serving the coffee, probably you don't care about physics, and you're very great in doing something else. And that's fine. Okay? But the level of complexity and the level of boring stuff or funny stuff will depend on the user level. This is one of the interactions you could have. This is software in real life.
Are you sure? Yeah. Username? Nick M?
No.
And 1983?
No.
Zambi Pops? Sorry. Zambi Pops?
No, okay, don't worry, I'll help. What's your postcode?
Oh, it's GU749ZT.
Welcome back, Nick Forever.
Oh, okay.
Please listen carefully to this bread license agreement before continuing with your purchase of a loaf of bread. If you do not, blah, blah, blah. You also agree not to use any bread-based product for any purposes prohibited by the United Kingdom law, including without limitation, design, development, manufacture of missiles, chemical, nuclear, or biological weapons.
Tick.
I'm afraid you've timed out.
What? Sorry. Hello? Excuse me. Oh, yeah, hey.
Just what, though, sir?
Yeah, we just...
What's your username?
It's Nick Forever, but number 4, not the...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to check that you're a real person. Could you say that for me?
It's not even a word.
Okay, how about this one?
You know what, forget it. Hippopotamus.
You're in.
Great, I'm in.
£8.85.
It's supposed to be 98 pence.
Plus express delivery.
What's that?
Oh, well, it's express delivery. It's fast. So there's, standard. Standard delivery, that's £4.99.
Why?
Bread insurance. You didn't untick the don't decline bread insurance option.
You know what, I think I'll risk it.
It is quite close to the sell-by date.
Don't care.
98 pence it is. If you want to pop back in 5 business days, it'll be ready for your collection.
Well, I need it now, obviously.
Oh, okay, you want the take-home today price, then that's £3.27.
You know what, I'm going to go.
Come back soon.
I won't.
Does it sound familiar? I'm a gamer. You don't know that? I'm a testosaurus, more than 50 years old, but I'm still a gamer. I love computer games. I especially love to see the story moving. Not interacting that much, but see them, love that. And one of the fabulous games I had the possibility to play with is called Mirror's Edge Catalysts. Anyone know the game? No, that's a very funny game, and it gives you if you have high fever, this is absolutely the game for you. So you're just, walking on top of buildings and jumping from one to another, and so it really gives you the idea of vertigo and all these kind of things. It's absolutely wonderful, okay? The problem is that you have some combinations of commands, okay? And, well, I'm not very gifted in moving all these little stuff at the same time, especially if I have to do pressing a couple of triggers at the same time and moving the camera. Yeah, okay, I can't do that. Probably I'm too old, I'm not young enough for that. The problem is that it was terrible for me because I had to drop the game. I can't do that. So at a certain moment in time, you try, oh, you fall. Okay, it's part of the game. You try, oh, you fall. Okay, it's part of the game. You try, you sorry. Okay? What I would have liked to have is the possibility to customize, because actually my problem was that I had to pull 2 triggers at a time and moving another one right in the same area with the same hand. If I move this one and pull the 2 triggers, it's easy. I can do that. I'm gifted enough to do that. But they did not even think that I might have a problem doing that. And I would qualify myself as quite a normal guy. It might be that you have a hand disability, it might be that, you've been injured or something, and then you shouldn't even think about buying the game. And it's very hard today to get reimbursed if you buy the game already. You see? So I just put 69 good euros. I don't know if the games are so expensive in Armenia, but in Europe they are. Well, in Europe, in Belgium they are. 69 euro, and you just drop it. Not good, right? Okay, this one is absolutely wonderful. Can you read that? No, I can't either. Okay? This was a wonderful animation on a website. I don't know how I landed to that page. I don't even know what the website is doing anymore. But I just landed to the page. And I saw these letters coming down, a little bit of matrix type. And I went, wow, that's amazing animation. And then it went. But it was too fast for me to process the reading. And I'm quite a fast reader, actually. And basically speaking, you have all overlapping, and then you can't read anything. So you lose the total message. Okay, drop it. Thank you very much. One of the things that are utterly important when you design something, and when you're interacting in real life, this is one of my core values, is keep your promises. So do not promise if you can't keep it. This is the message. And if you promise it, keep it. See that? Water fountains are so short in Europe. Well, don't drink. This won't work to PS3. Of course not, it won't work to PS3. This is an Xbox connector. This is an Xbox gamepad. Okay? Well, by the way, do you know the problem with all these gamepads, if you're a gamer? The positioning of X, Y, and so on is never on the same place. Depending on which console you're playing, you have to relearn where X is. This is another experience I had, okay? 2 of them actually. The one on your right, no, left, sorry, that's my right, your left. The one on your left is HP. Any representative of HP in the room? Oh, too bad for them. Okay, I have HP printer at home. Beautiful printer, working fine. And you know that these cartridges that you have to put in a printer are quite expensive. Actually, when you buy the cartridge, you buy a new printer all the time. Okay, that's the business model. Okay, fine. Well, not fine, but anyway. And I bought these wonderful, expensive box of new cartridges. And oh, wonderful, I get this wonderful voucher telling me that I'm qualified to get some extra money back. So, okay, that's good. Sounds like a deal. So I connect to the website, go there, and oh, sorry, the website is down. Okay, shit happens. I'm in IT, I know. Maybe they're testing it in production. We don't do that. The day after, I'm a resident guy, you know. The day after, I go back and I want my dirty money. Server error. Okay, server error. Shit happens. Not Whtvr. It's HP, yeah? It's not the grocery next door, eh? We're talking about HP, right? Okay, good. Day 3. Well, actually, that's 1 week later because I'm quite busy and moving and traveling and so on and so forth. So 1 week later, I just go to the website and, oh, sorry, this voucher expired. Right, I'll buy it rather next time, okay? So, keep your promises. If you offer me money, if you offer me a service, make sure I get it. Otherwise, I'll become berserk, you know? The other one is the Smashing Library, 69 ebooks for $99. 69 ebooks for $99 might sound like a deal. Okay, so I go to the website. And then, oh, $995 now. Okay, 69 ebooks for about $1,000. No. So which price am I going to pay? And if you go around the site, you see from 99 to 995 all the time. They can't choose. Please make up your mind, because I will never buy on that site, because I never know exactly how much I will be charged. Okay? Oh, this one is also fine. Oh, by the way, this is not my phone. This is just my name. The name is correct. Okay? But if you want my phone, just ask my business card, no problem. I was just visiting New York, beautiful city, the Big Apple, and so on. I decided to go to one of these big, theaters and see this musical in New York. And because I don't want to queue there, I just wanted to buy online. And you know what happens? You get this form, and my zip code is not matching, because I'm not an American citizen. Yeah, of course not, we're on the web. I just want to buy a ticket from abroad. Is it forbidden? I just want to give you my damn good money to buy your ticket and see your comedy, and it doesn't work, because I'm not American. Okay, good. I went to another site and it worked. Okay. Oh, 2 very nice stories. 2 very nice stories. You know that one? This is an application for runners. So that's the one on top. This is an application for runners. Okay? It goes on your phone. And you can share with community. This is something we like. Okay? We can share with community where we run. Oh, this is a wonderful way for running, and you see a lot of landscapes and blah, blah, blah. Okay? And of course, this sharing is done automatically on the web so that you can see and you share your performance, I'm better than you are, and so on and so forth. Well, you know, all these kind of things. It's absolutely wonderful, but if you just look at the map and you see the map, you see big red spots. And the big red spots are all these nice running trips from all runners in the world. And you see that America, because this is an American application, you see in America there are lots of big red spots. What if you go to, let's say, Afghanistan? Afghanistan is a very black country with regards to the application. But if you zoom, you see small red dots here and there. And you know what the small red dots are? Who is running in Afghanistan having an iPhone? American soldiers, yes. I'm a Marine, I'm running there, look, I'm good, this is my score. Oh, and then I'm a guy from ISIS. Oh, you run there, okay, loads of them. Right? Problem. The second one is amazing, Target. Target is a big department store in the US. Okay? And, well, like sometimes in Belgium, we're very strong in that in Belgium as well. We send coupons, you know, rebates, discounts, whatever. We come with the coupons and so forth. And they have some artificial intelligence, big data processing stuff. And they realize that ladies, when you become pregnant, you change your customer habits. Basically speaking, it's not that you are going to buy diapers and these kind of, fancy teddy bears and these kind of things. No, this is too obvious. You're just changing your makeup brands because the scents and the perfumes and these kind of things are just, not very fine with your hormones changing and so on and so forth. So you come to softer products, actually. This is what they found out. Interesting. So of course, when they see that over a year your consumption changes and comes to these softer products, they figured out that you might be pregnant. And of course they want to congratulate you and they want to offer you a rebate for some special articles. And they send it back home. And then you have this daddy, probably my age, 50s something. Congratulations, you are pregnant. No, that's my daughter. But how the hell do you do that? My daughter is not pregnant, she's a good lady, blah, 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 blah. Boom. Back to Target. And then the lady comes back home from school. Hello, Dad. Hey, you cannot imagine what happened. They tell you you're pregnant. Blush. This is not a nice way to hear it, right? Welcome to usability. Oh, by the way, one of the common mistakes is that we all think that we are using products, that our users are using our products in a very qualified and very standard environment. They're on their city, watching TV, using it, or in the office, so on and so forth, okay? But basically this is not true. Basically they're using our products in various conditions that we do not control. That's about cold, that's about security, that's about light condition, that's about stress. Maybe they are stressed when they're using our products. And if they have to make a decision under stress, it might be totally different if they are presented the software with a certain interface or with another one. Okay. Cool, isn't it? Well designed. Okay, thank you. So we're using this while biking in a very dusty environment, in a desert, in the middle of nowhere. All these kind of things have to be thought of. It's not that our users are 100% standard, sitting there in the conference room and using our products. It's not true. So we need to think about that as well. Heuristics. Guys, Jacob Nielsen, back to the board, designed these UX heuristic. It has to be effective. Can they achieve the goal? Can they do what they're supposed to do? Needs to be efficient. Can they do it quickly? It must be learnable. So, have I got to rebuild the context every time and relearn the story every time, or is it obvious? Has to be memorable. Can I memorize what I have to do easily? Should handle errors. It should prevent you from doing the wrong stuff with the product. And, most difficult, they must be satisfied. Okay, let's have a look. Status feedback. We invented these kind of controls to give you a feedback on how the application is running. Where are you today? And the feedback is, the sales ends in 2 days. You downloaded that amount. You are there. Okay? That's very important. Sometimes we forget these kind of things. It's absolutely terrible to see the application running in the background and you don't know if it's doing something. Okay? If it matches with the real world, it's better because we can understand, we can picture, we can use the paradigm. So basically speaking, we have Windows. That's nothing like a window, right? It's just a computer screen. But we have a desktop. It's not a desktop, it's just, the screen. We have the recycle bin. It's not a recycle bin, it's just a container where you can trash your file. But it makes sense. We understand what a recycle bin is, so we understand what Windows recycle bin is all about. Well, Windows or any kind of flavor you like. Yeah? Users must be in control. That is very important. What we like is to be in control. We need to be controlling what is happening. Okay? Push button. Please wait. Schedule your upgrade, and so on and so forth. Okay? I need to interact. I need to be able to stop, to break down. I need to be able to start anything. Okay? Very important. It has to be as coherent and standard as possible. We invented those standards. There's a reason for that. The reason is that if you see these things, you immediately understand what it's all about. And if you're moving from one application to the other and they're using the same kind of icons or the same kind of pictures, you know what it's all about. When you see the Bluetooth icon, you know that this is a Bluetooth. And you know what you can expect from a Bluetooth stuff. Okay? So don't reinvent the world. Don't think you're a genius and you can reinvent. Unless you're so disruptive and you're bringing such a wonderful innovation that it's absolutely required and needed. That is very rarely the case. Error prevention. Make sure that they don't do the wrong stuff. One of my favorite tests 20 years ago was to enter wrong dates into the date field. It was so funny. Okay? Today we invented this kind of control so that they prevent silly users like me to, mingle with their piece of software in the wrong way. Okay? That's Google stuff, trying to anticipate your needs, and sometimes it is so funny. I love these spelling correctors in the iPhones. That's absolutely wonderful. But sometimes I write mail as, oh, did I write that? Okay. Yeah, give the direction. Is it up or down? Oh, why is it displaying that way? Okay, can you please move your head like this? Have you seen it? Okay, what shall I do? Cross or not cross? To be or not to be? I tried it 2 days ago. Okay, I won't say where it was. It was 2 days ago. I was already in Armenia. I know. And I had this, and you have this red light flickering, and you have the green light on. So the green light is on. This is persistence. That's cross. Not. Okay. You know what about the glass stuff? I drink it. Okay, recognizable, memorizable. It is very important that you don't get lost. You have these breadcrumbs all over the place. You know what is going on. And you can find your way up and down, here and back. Okay? This is also what they're playing. This is marketing concept. I something, my something. Okay? This is to put you into the product. That's also manipulation. But this is not my presentation. I have another one of this one.
Det är inte mulig av oss.
Okay. Flexibility in use efficiency. Okay. It needs to be flexible as much as possible. I had a wonderful experience with these little ladies. These are, these chatbots. Okay. And the problem was that it was implemented on every page. So every time you move to a page, hey, can I help you? Okay, so the first time you say, well, no, thank you. Hey, can I help you? No, thank you. Hey, can I help you? Why don't you go and clean the mixer? I'm sorry, I didn't get it. Yeah, okay. Very complex. Aesthetics, zenitude. Okay, we try to make it we try to picture it as Zen attitude, as beautiful, but it's very difficult because my beautiful is not you beautiful. You know what this stuff is? You just, that's a squeezer, exactly. Okay, this one is from a famous designer, Stark. Okay, very expensive, probably about €300. Okay, it's beautiful, especially when you have friends at home. Oh look, this is the Starks. Oh well, beautiful. Oh, these guys, loads of money. Okay, but if you want to use it, Jesus Christ, better use another old squeezer because otherwise you have to clean the kitchen all over again. Okay, so it's beautiful, but it's not usable. Identify and correct errors. It should be something. All right. Okay. So again, the name of the game here is to help you not doing the mistake. Sometimes in a wrong way. Well, okay, that's part of the deal. oh, this is something that we just dropped, you know, with agility. No help, no documentation. Read the fucking manual, no more. You know, when I was young, I had this little floppy stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen these floppy stuff, you know, dinosaur, yeah. Oh, you don't look that old. Sorry. Sorry about that, just joking. Okay, you have these floppies, and you know, you had 2 floppies and 2 big bags. And this was the manual, you know. And you had to read that before. Well, they expected you to read that. Then they put it online, so you have this whatever file that you have to read with HTML tags and so on and so forth. We don't do that anymore, okay? But please ensure at least a minimum help. Make sure that your user understands what he or she is supposed to do with the application, all right?
Does your dare do that? No? I thought you said your dad did not bat.
That is not my dog.
So make sure you ask the right question. And who should you ask the right question? To the users, guys. 20 years ago, I would have said, we are all users. We can substitute to the users. Today, I wouldn't say that. I'm not a hairdresser, I'm not serving caffeine. I can, but I'm not very effective and efficient in doing that, okay? So you need to ask these people, you need to see how they interact with your stuff. It's not expensive, it's not that you have to hire 2,000 users for I don't know how many bucks and test them. It's 5 or 6 users at a time, okay? Can be students, can be people you know, can be your grandma and so on and so forth, but please see how they do interact with your product, if it's designed to them. And this is it. Thank you very much. Question? There's one there at the back, I don't know.
So a lot of times when I talk to users, they already are presenting a solution to me. And I'm trying to get to what the actual core problem is, just to make sure I solve the right issue. And so do you have any guidance on how to make sure that what the customer is telling you is really the problem and not a solution? So they'll be like, I need a car to get from point A to point B,
yes,
right? But his real problem is he just needs to get, you know, from this office to that office. So he doesn't need a car, he might need something else. But he's guiding me towards getting him a car. And so is there any good questions that you would ask to make sure that you're actually getting the right problem?
Well, okay, yeah. You have different layers in this question. The layer you're referring to in here is more the pre-design phase. That's building the solution. And building the solution is done like marketing surveys, marketing studies. You analyze the need. So you have to use these BA approaches to analyze the need and make sure that you understand the problem. And basically, what you need to have with the discussion with the users is actually whether they need a certain solution, or, as you mentioned, if they just need to move from point A to point B. Okay? And this is done through discussion with the users, more than one, and trying to infer from their inputs what kind of solution you should build. Then we come 1 or 2 levels down, where you already started to implement the solution. And then there are different kind of scenarios that you can use to get valuable information of your users. One of the scenario is to have this guided review, speak aloud kind of review. So you sit along with the users and you just watch them doing stuff. And you can guide them a little bit, give them some tasks to do, and then they have to describe what they're doing and they have to describe their feeling. Okay? There are different ways to do that. You can do that remotely with cameras, or you can do it more empathetically with them aside and so on and so forth. But then this is task-oriented stuff. And what you try to understand and figure out at the time is where they are blocked, where they see the problem. And you need to make them speak aloud so that you get this valuable information. Of course, you need to have more than one user, because otherwise you bias your study, whether it is upper phase, defining the need, or whether this is the down phase, defining the product and helping improve the usability of the product. But basically you need to choose more than one, and you need to choose more than one profile. And in the upper kind of study, you need to understand where and how your software will be used, or product or whatever will be used. Because it might be that this is used in different conditions. I didn't have much time to stress upon that. But for instance, you had this commotion in the first Iraq war, where this battleship from the US shot down a plane, and that was a regular plane. And they thought, because it was a stressy environment, they just thought, though the signal was there, that it was a fighter, you know? So they shut it down like it was an enemy, but actually it was just a regular plane flying. So this is not an easy question to answer, but the answer is you need to analyze the need, and analyzing the need is having a survey and questioning more and more users. And once you started to develop the product, then you have this kind of guided scenarios, or speak aloud reviews and these kind of usability techniques that you can use. You're welcome. Is it? Thank you very much again.